So let's proceed with research ethics. So these things sometimes we we forget in the research process. Now, research ethics is perhaps the fundamental plays a fundamental role in research. Now, there are rules and there are norms in our society that needs to be followed. Hence, we need ethics. And in those frameworks, we base our actions. Now, in research class, sometimes these things are overlooked, often overlooked, and sometimes forgotten by people. I remember my friend in Germany, she is currently having her dissertation regarding these issues, ethics in research, how to return to the community what they deserve. For example, there are cases most of the time researchers like foreigners go to a certain country, take the data, then go back to their countries, then they do not return the data, they do not give back the data, in which the community deserves to have it. But sad to say, one of the glaring examples is people like that. No, there is a conference last year or 2 years ago that termed this kind of research called helicopter researchers. No, hindi na bumabalik pagkatapos na nila yung research, hindi na bumabalik sa community. So those things are heavily criticized. And it could invalidate your research process. It could. And fundamentals in research, like research ethics, kung hindi nyo magawa yan ng tama, you may fail even in research methods and even in thesis. So there are cases that we are very careful with this. And I am always cautioning my students in thesis to to follow these things. No? Actually, serious matter ito. No? Minsan napupunta sa Supreme Court pa. No, I will show an example. Now, the presentation is based on about four references. We have Dooley, Moore, and Vallejo, 2017. Reyes and Ariate, 2019. Our manual, student manual for research in the University of St. Louis. And lawfield.net, also by Sosnowski. Hindi siya dated. No? But those are important references for our discussion today. Now, in this presentation this afternoon, we will talk about research ethics with human subjects. Second is a very serious matter, plagiarism, and a very brief um, introduction, or perhaps your readings that this is your assignment related loads. Now, research ethics with human subjects based on the work of Moore and Vallejo in 2017. There are things that we need to discuss in ethics. No? Insights and guidance. Ethics is most of the time insights and guidance for researchers working with human subjects. Human subjects meaning the participants or the respondents of your research is largely based on human information, human input. Hindi gaya ng bundok, no? You research about the mountain. Saan ka magpapaalam sa mountain? No? Mountain pakipirmahan to. No. So we are talking about human subjects here. No? Then we will look at the educational context, emphasis on the importance of ethical considerations, as well as the well-being of our participants. Now, these things are sometimes forgotten by students who are very eager in their research, and because of rushing things, they forget that the people involved are persons. Sometimes ginagawa yung human subjects sa parang hayop. But again, those are people. So they are independent moral beings, and we need to be respectful on that. So ito, iikot tayo dito, ano? So in ethics, in qualitative research, mostly qualitative research, um, the outputs and inputs came from humans. But sometimes, class, not only in qualitative research, but also in hard sciences or quantitative researches. So, for example, topics on biology, no, biological frameworks, or um, things about genetics. About 2 years ago, 2 years ago ba yun? Or 4 years ago, they have this research title, the average length of a penis. So those things are measurable things. So what are the things that we need to understand or we need to remember on ethics in qualitative research? Now, our discussion would be the involvement of human subjects. Second, how we will prioritize the well-being and safety of our participants. Third, what is the importance of obtaining parental consent? Fourth, what is anonymity or anonymization? Anonymity. Fifth, how do we modify or why do we modify sometimes our research design? Six, why do we need to be aware of cultural and social factors when we do research? Seven, the importance of open communication in research ethics. O yan, ano pa lang yan, part 1 pa lang ha. Alam niyo naman ang discussion natin, no? Mahaba. O yan. So, diyan tatakbo ang usapan. First, the involvement of human subjects. Human subjects as the primary participant of our research. So in doing that, the research that the research is mostly directed on our respondents. They are the participants actually of our research. So how do they participate? They may participate via interview, survey, or observation. Interview, survey, or observations. So for example, interviews, likes and dislikes, surveys, how their perception on a certain service. Observation, you need to observe them. For example, they have sickness. They have sickness, or how do they behave in a certain space as to architectural space. And it involves the collection of data from them. So for example, when they behave in a certain space, how will you collect the data? Will you put cameras for you to observe them? So what you will do. So that is what we mean by having humans as the primary subjects of our research. And then we need to remember that we need to ensure the well-being, first well-being, privacy, and confidentiality of the participants. No? Well-being, privacy, and confidentiality with the participants. So, so how will we process those? So we can create, or we may give them and informed consent to minimize potential harm. When we say when we say informed consent, you explain to them what is our study as well as what we will do during the research. So everything should be explained to our subjects. Clear tayo dito? So this is the first. So the meaning of human subjects. Now, what do we mean by prioritizing the well-being and safety of our subjects or our participants? Now, we need to minimize any potential harm or adverse effects. For example, we have these students last year. They conducted their thesis with their subjects having some issues with mental health. So, how do we ethically use some methods for us to avoid potential harm mentally as well as physically? For example, if you are not careful enough in the mental well-being of the person, he or she may harm himself or herself. So if you are not careful with these methods, it could lead to accidents or death. So iwasan nyo yun. So you have this huge responsibility as a researcher. Ah, dito hindi biro mag-research. You have this responsibility to your um, respondent. Again, we need to explain to them through informed consent forms. Now, I will explain later on what are those. Second is to obtain parental consent for research involving children under the age of 18. Why do we need to have the parental consent of these people? Kasi minor. Ano pa? What is the reason why we need parental consent for those people? Ha? Vulnerable. Ano pa? Di pa nila kayang mag-decide mag-isa. Meron pa? Emotionally dependent. Meron pa? All of those are correct. And please do not forget this thing. No, one of the serious things in academic research, we need parental consent and the guidance of parents because they are vulnerable not only emotionally but physically. So there will be you may see examples of researchers that may have these cases abusing children, sexually abusing children, molestation. That is a serious crime. Ah, so those things, be careful. Be careful when you have minors as well as children as your participants. Hindi pwede na dalawa lang kayo sa isang room. Hindi pwede yun. So you need the parent present when you interview the child. Sino dito ang may proposal na parang ganun? Kindergarten or schools? We have. So those are things that you need to consider. Serious matters yan. The third is, yun nga, we need to prioritize their well-being. Not only for the children, but also for your protection. No, mamaya ma-accuse ka ng kung ano-ano. No? Even your partner in your research. No, please be prudent, be wise in those circumstances. Also, if you want to prioritize the well-being and safety of the participants, be transparent in all the methods. Explain everything. Will it involve touching them? Will it involve placing instruments in their heads? Will it involve observations through cameras? Lahat yun. Be transparent. And avoid misinterpreting and overinterpreting the data. Kesyo lumabas na ganito yung data, mataas yung graph papunta sa agreeableness in the color yellow or in the color red, you have the responsibility to verify it. You have the burden to verify all of your data. Huh? Hope this is clear. Now, obtaining parental consent. Every person under the age of 18. Huh? And then, you need to ask the legal guardian. Legal guardian. Kung wala yung parent. Huh? So, all of this should be clear to them. And, again, place in the informed consent form, yung pipirmahan ng mga magulang, the form should include a clause, C-L-A-U-S-E, a clause that will explain that they have the right to withdraw from the research. They have the right. Di dahil pumirma sila initially, but when they disagreed with your method, they have the right to go away or to withdraw from your research. Tama ba yun? Tama ba yun? No. You cannot say that they cannot withdraw. They have the right. Protected right yan sa Bill of Rights natin na we have the right to choose between ourselves. You cannot do that. Hindi pwede na dahil pumirma ka, bawal na eh. Hindi pwede. They can actually sue you, no? Because that is an infringement of our rights as a free citizen. Ayun lang, minors lang. About minors to. Even, sometimes even the old ones, yung mga, yung mga may makakalimutin na, you need to have the consent also of the involved parties like their children. No, the next of kin. No, hindi basta-basta mag-research class. Anonymization. What is anonymization? Of course, you are familiar with the term anonymous. So, anonymity is a term that is so important that we do not want always that people know of our full information. For example, even you as a student, your name in Facebook may be different from your real name. Actually, that's okay because you're protecting your privacy as an individual. Sino dito ang ibang pangalan sa Facebook? Yung binabaliktad yung apelyido. Ladib kay Vidal. That is okay because you're protecting your identity. Anonymity. That is your right. Anonymity. Now, if you are careful as a researcher, your responsibility in having your subjects anonymous during the process, you have the responsibility. If it would appear in the thesis, if it would appear, you may blur or pixelate the images of your respondent. Blur or pixelate. Or i-cross nyo yung mata niya. You can do that. Blur or pixelate, for example, in images and in videos. Blur. Yes, parang sa PCSO na ay ganito ba yun? Sa PCSO, no? And make sure that they cannot be identified with your study. And a good practice class is actually happening in St. Louis. For example, when you evaluate your teachers, we do not know who wrote those. We do not know. Yes, because when the manager of your data failed to do that, makakasuhan siya. He has a burden to protect your identity. Huh? So do not be afraid when you evaluate your teachers. Do not be afraid. Do not be afraid. Eh, kahit sabihin nyo sa akin na hindi nagtuturo si Architect Tabaw, hindi ko magkikilala yun. Hindi ko magkikilala yun. No. They do not know who wrote those comments. We do not know. Possible, but we do not know the individual. We do not know the individual. So, ulit-ulit. We do not know. We do not know. So, if like the question of Miss Adelpha, alam nila kung sino yung hindi nag-evaluate kasi wala pang lumabas na data from you. That's the simple thing. Yes, sinasabihan lang. But the wordings, we do not know. Even the initials, they do not place it. So for example, SKV. SKV. Stacy Karen Vidal. I see. Karen. SCV. Wala. Sino pa? DFA. No? Department of Foreign Affairs. Or Din Franco Amentruz. Walang ganon. So, those things, tanggalin nyo. Every identifying mark. Every identifying mark. That is to protect the anonymity. No, the right to conceal the information. And of course, what do you mean? Mm. Wait lang ha. On those cases, the professor, the instructor may ask the original photos. Yes. To verify. Ano? Alam niyo ang peer review, it doesn't happen one week, 2 weeks. Peer reviews are years. Years ang peer review. Kaya, I am wondering why some people are disrespecting people who publish papers who went through peer review. I don't know why people are disrespecting those. Because I myself am currently under peer review. It takes years. And those years, ang ginagawa, bine-verify talaga. Actually, last year, 2 years ago, 2022, may na-discover sila na pagdodoktor ng results in neurosurgery. Meron. Neurosurgery or magbigay kayo ng sakit sa isip? Alzheimer's disease. Alzheimer's disease, there is an issue last 2022 that a scientist was doctoring the images So, those cases, hindi makakalusot yan. Hindi makakalusot lahat yan. No? So, it falls under ethics in research pa rin. Recently, last week, I am reading an article. More than 100 articles were retracted, tinanggal sa journals. Kasi heavily doctored yung document. So those are serious things. Even data gathering. It's okay. It's okay. You know the answer for that? The this thing, anonymity. They have the right to be anonymous. You know how? Lalabas yan sa Google Sheet nyo. Magkikita doon yung IP address niya. May mga pilosopo na there are ways to verify. There are ways. Even the timestamp, ganun. Yes, there is a possibility like that. So, yun ang i-check nyo i-check namin actually in the data gathering procedure. Makikita yan sa Google Form nyo. Sinong nag-encode. Kita yan. Nakatapon ka ang research, no? Oh, you know magandang practice ito. The reason why this is a good practice is that upon your graduation, you will learn how to respect people. No?
So regarding dun sa mga mental, hindi mo pwedeng like direct na person yung hindi pwedeng like sa professional.
Profe,
Pwede yun?
the question of Miss Darcy here, paano yung mga may mental disorders? Bakit hindi na lang yung professionals yung i-interview? Actually, that was our advice to those students. Mga 6 sila eh. 6 students are having a thesis on mental health facilities. So, our advice is to interview the professionals, not the minors. So, yun. Okay lang yung mga yun. Kung may magsasabi na mali, ikaw kaya mag-research. Hindi. Pagka ganon yung question sa inyo ng panelists, why professionals? The answer would be, they are reputable in their field. Period. Tamang pitik lang kayo. No? They are the experts in the field. They are credible in their field. They have established their career in the field. Yun yung mga sagot ninyo. Hindi yung, sir, sinabi kasi ng instructor namin, sir. Ganon. Hindi ganon sumagot. Yes. You cannot force them. You cannot force them.
Kasi confidentiality.
Yes. You cannot force them. That's why the importance of anonymity will go back. If that is the case, can you bargain? Like for example, sige po, if you don't want to give us the data, could you at least give us data that are not too sensitive? Mga ganon. For example, perceptions, ganon. Diagnosis, the general overview of the diagnosis, may mga ganon. So I am teaching you how to go around research. Lahat may paraan. Hindi yung, hindi pa check out. Okay? Ang dami kong i-edit sa audio nito. Ano ba yan? Or ganito na lang, hindi ko na i-edit. Ano lang? Raw file na lang. Okay. Saan na tayo? Third na pa to? Fourth? Ha? Fifth na pala to? This is about modifying the study design or procedure. Now, this happens, and it is not bad, actually. It is not bad to modify the study design. Why are we saying so? For example, you miss something, and that something is so unethical that you need to delete it from the questionnaire. Halimbawa, okay lang ba sa'yo na maitim ka? Mga ganon. Racial matters, matters about gender, ayun. Matters about political viewpoints, mga yun. Matters about religious views, mga yun. Yes, those things are sometimes too sensitive to be taken from respondents. Bakit kasi ito nga ang ano? Yun. Pinanganak akong ganito, I will not change. Biglang nag-rant sa'yo yung ano, wala na. So, those things, upon the discovery that there are unethical things that you discovered, then you delete it or modify the research process. Now, again, we minimize any potential harm and we include informed consent. Explain to them. And then, pagka na-modify, if you change the method, you inform them again that I changed some things because there are things that are too sensitive to be presented in data form. So, so those things, the values of transparency, the value of being honest with your respondents are keys to have a successful research. Huh? Do not be afraid to change it. But again, it will cost you time. So I am currently, I am presently teaching you how to be ethical in your research process. Ito ang isang sensitive, cultural and social. Now, I think it is clear to you what we mean by the culture and the social values of a community. Now, culture, it is a collective framework within a community. Huh? It can include the traditions, it can include belief systems, it can include socio-political frameworks inside the community, even their architecture. Those are parts of their culture. Right? Heavily integrated in their totality as a person. Andun na sila sa they embody it. They embody culture. Now, do you know people like this? That their culture is so strong, you can identify them apart from Filipinos. Oh, ano? Anong mga kultura? Chinese. Oh, Chinese, of course. Ha? Ay, Karen. How about specific people, group of people in the Philippines? Mga Kalinga, indigenous peoples as a whole, especially in the Cordilleras. Why am I saying this? Now, not to be racial, no? Because they have their own socio-political frameworks, they have their own culture, and they protect it. They protect it. They can kill you because of it. They may kill you because of it. Huh? Now, now in the indigenous peoples in the Cordillera Administrative Region, CAR actually is what we call in the National Commission on Indigenous Peoples or the Indigenous Peoples Rights Act of 1997 as ancestral domain. Yung mga yan, ancestral domain yan. CAR, Batanes is also an ancestral domain. You cannot buy your own land there. You cannot buy your own land there if you are not an Ibatan. Because those are places sacred to them and they cannot give you it freely or with money in exchange for money. Hindi, yung mga yan, mga areas na yan, specific territories designated to them. No? Based on the IPRA or the Indigenous Peoples' Rights Act of 1997. Ancestral domain. Now, if you will go research in an ancestral domain, you need to ask permissions from elders or the mandatory representatives. Naalala nyo si Nas Daily. Ito ang classic example. Si Nas Daily, sinabi niya, magma-master class daw si Bangod. Naalala niyo yun? Magma-master class daw. Bigla na may ganun na advertisement siya. Question, why is it that Nas Daily was a persona non grata or an unwelcome person in the Philippines because of that? Why? Bakit? What is the fundamental reason? Ha? Bakit, Stacy? Exploit? Exploit sino? Si Wangod, ano pa? Ano pang rason? Misinformation, ano pa? Meron pa, sabi ni Miss Kawilan? Kasaway. Sabi ni Miss Kasaway, hindi transparent si Nas Daily sa sinainan na document. Anything else? Anybody else? The fundamental reason is that it is an indigenous knowledge that he wants to take from Apo Wangod, which is that indigenous knowledge from Apo Wangod is not hers. It is not hers to claim. Who owns the indigenous knowledge of the Tuwing? It's the community. The community of Butbut ba yun? Butbut or Tinglayan? Tinglayan, they own that tradition. Hindi lang si Apo Wangod. So, that thing that Nas Daily is attempting to take from the community is actually in violation of the Indigenous Peoples' Rights Act in 1997. Actually, baka pag tumapak siya dyan sa Cordillera, baka ano na yan, makulong na. Hindi naman JM naman eh. But again, no, yung mga very sensitive matter to, class. Very sensitive matter to. So when we talk about culture and social factors, be careful. Be careful. Mamaya tinamay nila kayo dahil dyan. Ay, ikaw, ay, gano'n? Sige, tapos na din. Tapos na tayo. Mamaya, ganun ka na sa bahay nyo, ganun. Suka-suka ka na. Okay? And again, you identify the potential impact, the potential effect of the study to your respondents, to your participants. What are the pros? What are the cons? Pros and cons. And then, you try to, hindi mo wag mo pilitin ha, yung respondent mo. You try to at least convince them that they participate. But do not force them. They should be willing to participate. And of course, class, you check on the power imbalances. When we say power imbalances, hindi dahil nagka-college ka, not because you are taking your college degree, and then the person that you're studying is not a finisher of any degree. Huwag mong gawing leverage yung mga yun. No? Be careful, be careful. And again, finally, you conduct your study in a respectful manner. Ha? Hindi dahil hindi sila marunong mag-English, you talk to them in English or in Tagalog. You understand me? Sino dito marunong mag-Ilocano? Taas nyo kamay nyo. Ay, hindi kayo, yung iba, hindi marunong mag-Ilocano? You try to communicate with them in the local language. You in as much as possible, you talk with them with their local languages. Di dahil hindi sila marunong mag-English, in English muna. And ma'am, we would like to ask you as a respondent to our study. Sabihin mo kay Apo Wangkod, ay, tiyak maawatan, sabihin niya sa'yo, rikmanti dyan, lapik ka, mga ganun. Okay? Alam mo kung paano? May tanong si Miss Stacy. Paano kung hindi ka maintindihan? What if the respondent do not understand you, but he or she is willing to participate? You hire a translator. An ethical ka agad. You hire a translator. A translator is a research assistant. You remember Zana Ashworth? Unang pumunta dito. Si Zana Ashworth hired many translators. Mga ganon. Those are cases that translators are usually helpful. Oh yeah, open. Yan na. Medyo mahaba yan. Open communication. Medyo mahaba yan. But the point here is, class, wag kayong mang-ghost. Do not create barriers between communications. You try to bridge gaps in between. So for example, dialogues with collaborating partners. For example, you have a dispute with them or nagkatampuhan. Siyempre, you try to bridge the gaps. And of course, for example, data sharing, authorship rights, and restrictions to data usage. Now, I would like to give you an example on this. Suppose that they are willing to give you the information. Now, Your role as a researcher is that you explain to them that the information, all of them, the interviews, the audios, the videos, the transcripts will be archived in a hard drive. So itatago nyo lahat ng data. So i-explain nyo lahat yun. You explain that we have a data storage available. Explain all of those. Also, in those data, you will designate people that could interpret those information. Video, audio, lahat ng Excel files, all of those, itago nyo in a secure manner, not to be publicly used. Huh? And then, be open to the possibility of publishing the result. So for example, if they do not agree that you publish the result, huwag kayong magreklamo. Karapatan nila yun. No? Or if the report would be published, you omit the data from them. You leave the data that are valid as well as with the permission of the owner of the data. Naintindihan niyo ako? Possible ba yun? Is it possible that the person may not let you publish his data or his input? For example, political views. Wala. Political views. Buhay pa yung pinag-uusapan nyo. Buhay pa yung pinag-uusapan nyo. Si Mayor, yan. Si President, yan. Tapos pinablish nyo in a international journal. Nabasa nila. Ano, wala na. Hinanting na kayo Especially if there are negative views. What? LJ, ano yun? Of course. But that is the cons, the disadvantages of publishing data that are very sensitive. Ano?
Kasi meron yung ganyan na pinakalaban na yung government, yung mga press.
Yes.
Like Guardian.
Yes. So those, especially journalists, they do not reveal the sources. Sometimes, ayon sa ating source lang, according to our source lang, they do not reveal the data of the person they took the data from. Especially journalists. There are countries that are not great with journalists. For example, Philippines. Yeah. Siyempre, I will not talk about those things. Mamaya, pinost niyo mamaya tong video na to. Ito yung sinasabi ng instructor namin sa mga journalists. Kaya politiko. No? So, please, for those things about journalists and journalism, that is a good way to, or a realization that we respect them. Journalists, reporters. Huh? Itsura ni Mel Chanco nun niya. Nalaman niyo yung resulta ng eleksyon. Si Mel Chanco. Informed consent. Wow, part 1 pa lang tayo. Saan yan ang oras? Ay, pa. Informed consent. Now, informed consent, it is sometimes in a form of a form, or the entire process. So, for example, you have a consent form, you explain it, that is informed consent as a whole. Huh? Intindihan nyo? The entire process. The form itself, and then the explanation to the participant. So, upon agreement, that is informed consent. For example, the comprehensive information about the research study should be explained, as well as you obtain their agreement with your project, with your research, voluntarily, voluntarily agree with your study. They participate. So in informed consent, we have four key elements. First, first is the information disclosure. Second, voluntary participation. Third, comprehension. Fourth, consent form itself. Now, information disclosure. Ano yan? In the first step, say to them everything that could happen with your information. How will you process it? Will you process it? And include also the potential risks and benefits when the information is shown to them or to be published. No? Second, for voluntary participation, please, class, please do not make attempts to bribe them. Do not make attempts to involve money for them to voluntarily agree with your study. That is voluntary participation. It defeats the purpose of voluntary participation if you will involve money or premyo and prizes. No? I admonished one student about this. Ha? Babagsak kita pagka hindi mo tanggalin yan. Na-post mo na may premyo ang research mo. That is unethical. Ha? My God. Third is comprehension. Comprehension is that you make sure that the participant understood what you are saying. Sometimes it involves translation. No, umanamong kakadi. Yan. Umanamong. Ano ba ang simple na Ilocano ng umanamong? Nag-agree. Nag-agree ka ba? Anong agree? O, sige, anong agree? Wait ko na. Hindi. Umanamong kakadi nga maki. Yan. And fourth is the consent form itself. Again, do not make your consent form too broad, no? But again, it requires their signing. Their signing of the form. Yes. Yung Data Privacy Act, yun ang rule. No? Lalo pag survey lang. Ano na naman yan? Okay, last na yata to. Last na ang part 1. So, finally, conflicts of interest. Now, conflicts of interest may arise if the researcher has a personal or financial gain with the study or even with their partners. For example, ginagawa nila ang research kasi there is a funding with it that goes along with it. Is that the main motivation? That's why the researchers are too eager to conduct the research. So personal and financial gain. Also, is there a possible relationship between the researcher and the funder? Or is there a personal and professional relationship with the study participants? For example, employee mo sila. They are your employees. Ako yung employer. I will I will ask them to participate. Naturally, they will participate. So those are conflicts of interest. Then finally, if there are potential conflicts of interest, you disclose them. You disclose them. Now, um, I would like to point out that conflicts of interest sometimes happens because um, the original author was not credited with the published um, journal, or a participant was not aware that the study was for the development of a drug for a certain sickness. So those things, conflicts of interest may arise. Ha? Alam naman, i-research mo yung kapatid mo. Conflict of interest pa rin yun. Ha? Conflict of interest pa rin yun. Now, if that happens, committees can be created to investigate the conflict of interest. Ha? Now, let's go to part 2. Yan. Umusad tayo, umusad tayo.
Break na.
Totoo. Posible.
Hindi ka ba naniniwala tayo?
Um, for ano lang kasi yan, personal beings. For example, itong design na to, so, sometimes, merong hidden agendas na makikita mo along the way. Those things. For example, nag-design na pala siya dati. Nag-design na pala siya tapos ibebenta niya EAM.
Hindi matanggal. Iba naman yun. Kasi natanggal na.
For example, nag-design ka ng ibenta given given publishing ng libro. May ganun na nangyari. Sa akin kasi, I try to protect the intellectual property. But, now, natapos ko yung thesis ko, I said to that the intellectual property the intellectual property is shared with the community. I'm not own the intellectual property. Itawid nito is really standard for example, pagka sikat yung libro, wala nang mapapagpapagpapagpapag, wala ka naman sa akin, hindi naman, okay, let's proceed.
Sir, paano kayo nag-research mo para yung tama na
Ha? Ibang usapan yun. Ibang usapan, class, if it is academic research versus research and development. R&D. R&D is different because R&D is within the framework of your company. For example, Apple. Meron silang sariling R&D yan. research and development. The purpose of R&D is, of course, yumaman. Yumaman. Siyempre, yun yung, that is the very reason why every year we have products, we have new products. Ano bang bagong products ng, ng Unilever? Is there a new product? Is there a new product about soaps, sabon, o Dove, Tide? Those products are results of R&D, research and development. It is not conflict of interest because it is within their framework to do it. No? Different yun, ibang usapan. Iba to, academic research to. Huh? Okay, let's proceed. Plagiarism. Yan. Ayan na. Ang source nito, the source of this slides, series of slides is the USL manual and one in the Supreme Court case. So, plagiarism. Kung titignan natin the word by word definition, plagiarism is the practice of copying someone's work and declaring them as his or her own. I repeat, plagiarism is the practice of copying someone's work and declaring them as his or her own. Does this happen? Yes, this happens. Now, in our value as a Catholic institution, walang lugar ang plagiarism dapat. Walang lugar. Please try to do this. Try to do this now. You do this because you have fear. You have fear not only to your fellow human but also to the Almighty. See, pag nanakaw na yan no? It is fraudulent in nature. Plagiarism. Anong plagiarism? For example, gawa ko to, yun pala, hindi mo gawa. Yun. Now, there are types of plagiarism. Apat. We have direct plagiarism. First, direct plagiarism. Second, paraphrasing other works. Third, substituting and rearranging. Fourth, self-plagiarism. Balik tayo. Direct plagiarism. Now, what is direct plagiarism? Konti na lang ito. Copy paste. Control V, Control C. Baliktad ka lang. Control C, Control V. Halatado hindi ko gawain kasi Control V, Control C ang nabanggit ko. So, nakalimutan na ng kamay ko kung gawin niya. So, yan. Control C? Control C. Yun po. Worse yun Control A, Control C, Control V. Yan. Buong Wikipedia. Diyan na lahat, pati widget. Pati emoji meron. Pati page number. So, direct plagiarism is the direct copying without the attribution to the author. Attribution. When we say attribution, we credit the original author, the original writer. We credit them. Sige nga. Naramdaman nyo na to. May nangopya sa post nyo, Facebook. Tapos sinare nila. Alam nyo yung pakiramdam na ninakaw yung picture nyo, yung pagmat ninyo, tapos pinost ng ibang institution. Mga ganon. Ha? Oo, mga ganon. Now, how do we ano? How do we do away with this? Now, anong remedyo? What's the remedy with this? Direct plagiarism. It is a simple remedy. What you need to do is include a close and open quotation mark. Especially if you cannot really change the statement. Kahit one paragraph pa yan, you include a close and open quotation mark and cite the author. Ha? Simple lang. Hindi ka na nag-plagiarize. Okay? You cite, close and open quotation mark, and then cite. Attribute the author or recognize the author's work. Second is paraphrasing. Now, paraphrasing is different. I mean, you found a good source and then you reconstructed the entire statement. And then upon reconstructing the entire statement, the entire paragraph, obviously the structure changed, the word changed, but the idea is still there. So that is paraphrasing. Now, when you do paraphrasing, you paraphrase and attribute the author. You cite the author. That is a simple thing. That is just a simple errand that you need to do. And no need to steal other people's work. Just cite them. Huh? Cite them. That is the general rule. Third, third is substitution and rearrangement. Yan, talaga. May papakita ako na example dito na nag-substitute, no? And rearranging. For example, this is the paragraph, sentence 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ginanon-ganon nyo lang. Or, in-interchange nyo lang yung sentence 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 4, 2, 1. O, ganon. Tapos, sarap ng tawa niya, no? Saya ng buhay niya. And then, sometimes, they merge the idea. No? And, naglagay lang sila ng and para i-join yung dalawang sentence. Or naglagay sila ng semicolon or colon. No? Those are examples of substitution and rearranging. Substitution, for example, the words are substituted with a similar word. For example, Cagayan Valley is a beautiful place, a home for you and me. Tapos, pinalitan yung Cagayan Valley into
It's more fun than the
Cagayan de Oro is ganon. Ayan. So from where my footstep farmer is stray, ganon. Lagyan nyo lang ng over mountains, plains, beyond the deep blue sea, ganon. I shall love thee, ever be, wherever I may, ganon. Basta nyo, palitan nyo lang yung yung word.
Sir, kantahin mo na naman.
Nag-interchange na kayo. Imbes na Cagayan, pinalitan mo ng Isabela, gano'n. Cagayan, my valley home is dear to me, gano'n. Isabela, my valley home is dear to me, gano'n. So, you just change main keywords for it to fit your idea. So, this happens. These things happens. And then, the last thing that sometimes students are guilty of it is self-plagiarism. Self-plagiarism. Ayan. Sinabit mo kay Prof. Prac 2.
Alam ni sir.
Sinabit mo rin kay Prof. Prac 3. That is self-plagiarism. The same research work was submitted to another subject. Or you use your own statement and then fitting it to your new paperwork. That is self-plagiarism. Ano ang gagawin pagka ganon? You cite yourself. That is called self-citation. It sounds weird. It sounds weird, but that is the proper way. You cite yourself. Yes, even if it is not credible, basta ikaw nagsabi, according to, according to Quarteros 2023. Yan. Quarteros 2023 states that, ganon. Tapos iba na siya ngayon. So those things, self-plagiarism is sometimes it creeps, no? It creeps. Kumbaga, gumagapang sa ilalim ng academic notes, no? Hindi namamalayan ng mga instructors yan, hindi nahuhuli. Kasi nga magkaiba ng instructor, no?
Sir, may tanong pa kami si Dolly. Sa paraphrase in other words, ito yung, paano kung ganyan, yung sentence na, nandun, paragraph, like, ganyan siya. Common sentence siya.
Like what?
Kunwari, Cagayan Valley is beautiful and has a lot of something treasures, gano'n. Kasi, parang,
Nagkataon na may katulad ka. There's nothing wrong with that. But again, the key here is intent. The thing here that we need to see is the intent. Did you deliberately did not cite the author? So for example, in innocent things like that, we can consider that. For example, Jose Rizal is a national hero, one of the national heroes, which is very common. Then it can be considered. But for example, complex ideas, complex construction of ideas within a paragraph, and you really have to attribute the main author, you do so. The purpose of this that I show to you is that your intentions to attribute the author should still be there. I-attribute nyo. No? Yung mga kama na ganun, bagay. LJ Cabrera is a handsome person. Then we cannot do away with that. Lalo kung kaman naman na. Alam naman na lahat. Na, yes, may ganun. Anong sanctions? Yan. Punta na tayo sa sanctions. Simple lang naman ang sanction. No? The sanction is simple. Once proven, this shall mean failure in the research course. RM, thesis 1, thesis 2. Again, plagiarism is not only about words. Even the ideas, the constructs, even floor plans. Ayan. Even floor plans. Even, no. Paano kung talagang nag-match? But if you base, did you attribute the author? That's the question. If you base it from or based on a previous work, did you cite them? Did you attribute them? Did you credit their work? Yes.
Oh, later.
Magre-remit. Alam mo, may klase. Anong remit sinasabi nun? What? Example. Example. Ito, talaga, kabahan na kayo, ha? Withdrawal of academic degree due to plagiarism. This happened. UP Diliman versus a student in anthropology, PhD. PhD student in anthropology. University of the Philippines et al. Versus Aryokyaswamy William Margaret Celine. 1999 yung decision. Anong nangyari? They found out that she copied word for word and at times paragraph by paragraph without any acknowledgement of the source. Yan. At least 22 counts of such documented liftings were identified by the committee in UP and approximately 90 instances, 90 counts of plagiarism. 90 counts in a PhD level. PhD in anthropology to. And direct lifting, copying without acknowledgement, full or partial lifting with improper documentation, and substitution of terms or words. For example, the substitution is Tamil in place of Sanskrit and Tamilization in place of Indianization. So, meron lang yung mga ganitong word, pinalitan niya na ng ganito. Meron lang yung ganitong word, Sanskrit, pinalitan lang ng Tamil. So, yan yung investigation. Hindi biglaan na na natanggal yung degree niya. Actually, pa siya eh. She even managed to march. But because of the contestation of the dean as well as the panel members, hinabol, no? The panel members as well as the dean, they did not agree that this should be given the degree. Anong nangyari? Kaso-kaso. Gumawa ng bagong committee. Yan, 90 counts of lifting in the entire dissertation. PhD level na to. How much more sa inyo na bachelor's level that could plagiarize? Could, hindi that will. Magkaiba ang could sa will, ha? And I'm saying this, I'm showing this as a warning to you. Ha? Supreme Court decision to. The intention of UP is to protect its academic integrity by withdrawing from the private respondent the academic degree she obtained through fraud. Wala na. Sorry, PhD. Goodbye, PhD level. She cannot retake, she cannot enroll to UP again, she cannot be an employee of UP.
Paano kung sa ibang school?
Meron na to sa Supreme Court, wala na, record na yan. Supreme Court decision to, class. You may look at it here. Pagka ibibigay ko yung PDF, i-click nyo lang. Ito, hindi na kailangan i-anonymous kasi public document to. This is a public document. No. Now that you know the sanctions of plagiarism, I hope you do not do it. Wag niyong gawin. Pakiusap. May question about plagiarism? Shanin, 5. O ano?
May pangatlo na tayo.
May pangatlo tayo, assignment. Related laws. O, you try to find these laws. IPRA, Intellectual Property Code of the Philippines, and Data Privacy Act. You place it in your journals. I-check ko yan. No? So, baka wala na sa tayong activity pong prelim. Lahat to, readings. Readings nyo to. Readings nyo to. Wala, sa ano na lang, sa Thursday na lang. My question si Miss Garduque. What if the introduction, every statement is cited? Is that proper? Is it okay? Yes, it's okay. You know why? Your purpose as the researcher. Kaya nga, research ito eh. Research is to search again. And then your contribution to the knowledge is teaching the ideas. That is your contribution. So do not worry on those cases. Huh?